want to talk about the state of the world right now. I want to play with makeup from a brand that claims they can match my foundation perfectly with just a couple questions online.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda and you're watching Swell Entertainment. Makiage makeup is something that I've been meaning to review for a while. I don't know where everyone else sees the ads for these, but I mainly see the ads for Makiage on Pinterest. Every couple of sponsored pins and suddenly they're talking about how you will find the perfect foundation match. Ooh, a couple of you requested it, so I was like, you know what, perfect time, I'm gonna review it. So Makiage claims they can find your perfect foundation match based on a small questionnaire. And based on your answers to the questions, they don't show you a shade range like, hey, we think you're in here. They assign you a shade. You never upload a photo or anything. This is all based on those questions. You just kind of hope you're answering the questions correctly. One of the questions in particular is your skin more yellow tinted or pink tinted? Don't worry, we'll help you figure it out if you don't know. I think my skin is more pink tinted, and then so when I picked that, it gave me a breakdown of like what it is, including like visible veins and things like that, which I do have. Usually I don't like to look up reviews, but because I know there was a lot of speculation about whether or not this was a scam, I did look it up this time just to see, you know, what we should address. A lot of the angry reviews were angry about the price and saying that the retail price was ill advertised and that their card was overcharged and hey, you said I wasn't going to be charged this and then I was charged this. What happens with Makiage is you take your questionnaire and then before you get your result, you were asked to enter your email and then you were given your result and the option to purchase it or try it for free and just pay shipping, which is $5. You are then shipped your makeup and you have 14 days to try it for free. If you decide you don't want it, you will ship it back, and I believe they donated it. I don't know if they're still doing that in this time, but I'm going to be talking about the precautions I'm taking if they are in fact still doing that. But if you decide that you do in fact want to keep the makeup, your account will then be charged for $44, which as far as name brand foundations go, is a pretty standard price. But I also understand how in the breakdown, it's easy to misinterpret because here it shows that yes, I was only charged for $5 and my account itself was only charged for $5, but it shows that $44 will be charged if I decide to keep the product. And I understand why that can be confusing. Before you make your purchase, the website also says that there is a possible temporary $44 charge that'll show up on your account. I didn't see that on my account, but that's not to say that it wasn't ever there. I just personally didn't see it and it's not showing up in my records. I've talked about temporary charges before on my channel. As long as the company is divulging that they are in fact doing a temporary charge on your account, I think they're mostly fine. A lot of companies do it. We're trying out a foundation. I have no foundation on. I have no concealer on. I did my brows, I did my eyes, and on this side of my face, I did some light color correcting with a green stick, very, very light, which is what I normally would do, so that way we can see the difference. As far as prepping my skin, I did what I always do. I used a cleanser, I used a thick moisturizer, I used rosehip oil, and I used an SPF. Typically what I do with foundation, because I once read that you're not supposed to put a product directly onto a brush or a beauty blender or directly onto your face, you should always put it on the back of your hand or something like that. But because there is a possibility that I'm not gonna like this and I'm gonna send it back, and there's a possibility that it could be donated to someone else in this time of washing every surface possible, in an effort to keep things as sanitary as possible, I will be using this agate candle holder that I got in my Spiritu video. I've been using it as a jewelry holder, but I cleaned it off and I used isopropyl alcohol to completely disinfect it, and we'll just be putting the product directly onto this and then using my beauty blender onto that. That way my beauty blender and my hands are not touching the product inside the bottle at all. Before we get into the product, let's talk about how this video is sponsored by AdamandEve.com. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the current state of things, but let's face it, in this time of social distancing, really there's not a way to get around it. Things are tough, stress levels are high, and you're not supposed to be around other people. However, you know what you can be around that Adam and Eve has? A personal massager. The world is going crazy and we need to look at every avenue we can for stress relief. Adam and Eve has a 90-day return policy, 24/7 customer service, and 20% of all their profits go to fighting the spread of HIV around the world. Use code SWELL for 50% off one item and free shipping on AdamandEve.com. Makiage. These products are yours to try for 14 days starting on the day they were delivered. I don't remember when they were delivered. If you love them, keep them. If you shockingly don't, visit Makiage/return to download your return label and send back any returns within 14 days. Over 75% of women get foundation wrong. Get yours right. Now, I am a pale bitch, so I'm not going to go into, I can never find the proper shade range because eventually I will find it. There's 900 pale bitch shades out there. My issue with matching my foundation is less so my shade is not available and more so I always think I'm paler than I actually am, and so I always buy a foundation that's way too light. The main issue I have with foundation is that again, it's very drying on my skin and they oxidize on my skin, so it just looks stupid. So here it says apply 2 pumps to your entire face, draw a neckline, blend out with a brush or sponge, not by hand. Wait 5 minutes for foundation to set before checking the shade. Don't match your neck or wrist. They're a different tone than your face. Finish your face with concealer, blush, and bronzer, and then wear for a full week to determine if you even like it. Inside we have more fluffy shit that just I'll probably find under my bed in 6 months. Everything is Still sealed. The thing is here is, you see that? The sticker clearly was once on something else. Nowhere else on the box is there like a white chunk missing. Shade 35. This was already in the clip I showed of me answering the questions, but as far as coverage goes, I did select a medium coverage. Oh, it's sealed. It didn't break. That's all that matters. I'm great at this. Anyway, here's this makeup. This looks darker than it maybe should. Do you hate me yet? Oh, it's just the pump. That seems, actually that might work. I don't know. I'm gonna put my hair back before we get started, and I'm gonna take my glasses off. I apologize in advance if I'm out of focus. So again, light color correcting on here. I don't know if you can tell because I can't fully see myself. I don't know why I'm doing this in the viewfinder. I'm so bad at this. Okay, hold on. I grabbed a mirror. Just beat the shit out of your face. I have a very expressive face, so I get wrinkles in my forehead, which I'll probably end up freezing with botulism and toxins in the future. I genuinely can't tell how it looks. Okay, I'm going for more. I don't know what to do. I'll say this, the shade does match. Like, it's definitely not nearly as dark as it looked in the bottle. The coverage, it's actually not that bad. I'm using a lot of it, I feel like. Oh wow, that's doing some weird shit to my neck. I need to fix that. It actually looks pretty good in the viewfinder, so it doesn't seem to be settling weirdly onto my pores that I can see. How do I look? Do I look pretty? I look naked. Let's zoom in on my under eye bags while we're here. I did select medium coverage, so I do think this is the best we're gonna get. It says to let it sit for 5 minutes and then come back through and start doing the rest of my makeup, so we're gonna do that. It's definitely settled into my pores in some places. Nothing too significant. I'm sorry I keep looking at the viewfinder. This just zoomed in way too much. I don't like it. Never mind. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup now and hopefully that gets better.
I was originally gonna do a time lapse of me doing my makeup, but apparently I forgot that I was recording and I just had the mirror blocking my face the entire time. So rather than doing some sped up frames of a mirror blocking my face, you get this clip.
Finish the rest of my makeup. Fairly basic, what I usually do. And I set it the way I always do, using NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray, and I finish off with Olay's Mist Essence. I just found that it's helped my skin from drying out while I'm wearing makeup if I do that as the last step. So far everything looks to be okay. It's not drying or tight on my skin at all. We're social distancing, so I have nowhere to go, but I am gonna go film another video and probably eat something downstairs, but I will check back in with you in a little bit. It's been a couple hours. I ate some ravioli, I filmed another video, and we're gonna do a check-in because I'm gonna lose the light in a little bit. So here we go. I really don't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, which is good. I wanna feel comfortable when I'm wearing it, especially if it's for all day wear. It's not drying at all. I have noticed, it definitely creased a little bit around my forehead, but that's mainly my forehead's fault. Again, it's a medium coverage, so you can definitely see some of my discoloration here and there from my acne scarring. I really don't know what shows up on camera until I'm editing, because in the viewfinder, I always look way worse than how I end up looking when I'm on my computer. Surprisingly, there's not creasing happening, and I was talking a lot because I was filming a video and I talk a lot. Overall, I actually like it. I think probably if I were to do this again, I would probably go for a more full coverage just to see if it did work out a little bit more, because I did pick a medium coverage, but I do still think that a lot definitely shone through. It's a lot more sheer than I would expect it to be for a medium coverage, but it didn't oxidize. It's not drying. It feels fairly comfortable on my skin, and I know I'm not supposed to be touching my face, but it doesn't feel crunchy or anything like that. Though I like it, I can't justify a $44 cost right now because I don't wear foundation enough. Also, I want to be able to talk about the return process and whether or not I was able to not get charged $44.
So the return technically is incomplete, but I figured I would update you anyway. All I had to do was go to Makiage/return, and I had no problem filling in my order number and my email, and then they just immediately brought me through all my return process. They didn't do what some sites like this do, where they go, no, don't return, you're so sexy, don't, and then they try to trick you with like making it difficult to cancel. Very simple. Sent me a shipping label. I didn't have to pay for shipping at all, and for my reason for returning, I just put that it was too sheer. As of right now, I have not been charged an additional $44, but Once the order is complete, I will update you in a pinned comment.
But that's gonna be it. Have you ever tried a product from a company like this where it's a match your own or build your own type of product? Let me know, comment down below. Shout out to my patrons, thank you for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, the link will be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on all my social media, that'll be all up here. And that's gonna be it. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I hope you weren't expecting professional commentary on this because I am not a beauty guru.
Thank you, Adam, Alaradia, Andrew B, Andrew G, Anna, Elise, Becca, Lewis, Bradley, Brandon, Buffy, Cameron, Cliff, Connor, Colton, Crispy, Dean, That Dude, Douglas, Elliot, Eric B, Eugene, Aaron, Fool, Chris, George, Glenn, Hannah, Hyrule Jennifer, Jenny, Jesse, Jesse Blast, Jonathan, Josh, John, Catherine, QWERTY, Kyle, Liam, Lisa, Matthew C, Matthew J, Michael, Miriam, Rachel, Rebecca, Rebecca C, Samani, Sarah, Trey, Siobhan, Stefan, V Bright Eyes, Watcha, Zendri, Zoltan.